how to explain
Hey guys, what's up? My name is Holly, welcome back. We're starting halfway through the session, basically, but it's okay. These things happen.
I'm just figuring out where the fuck we're sitting right now.
Over here, where this line is, we're over here.
Oh, yeah?
Okay.
Sure, why not?
Alright. Well, let's start with Fairlock.
Okay, we're going to speak to people again.
While Leah decides what they're gonna say, I'm just gonna do a quick little rundown for you guys, because very sorry, I did not realize that the soundboard wasn't on. I assumed it would have been.
I'm out of practice.
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. We're back. Hey, what's up? We're in the world of Carthora. If you have missed the last two sessions, we are currently trying to solve a social encounter puzzle. It's being solved as we speak. There's a massive diagram that we've been going through. You didn't miss much. We were just doing a little recap for Lumclam and for all of us so that we know where we're at. If you'd like to catch up on all of basically everything that's happened, it's going to be fresh in your mind because you will have watched the archive videos over on YouTube from the last two sessions where we went through all of this information, talked to a lot of the heirs, a lot of the major houses, and all of that. That's, yeah, I think pretty much where we were up to. I did do a monologue, but it's okay, it's been lost to time. You just have to imagine what I spoke about. For now, Leah, your turn. You're going to be approaching Fairlock, the house. You are the one who chose a high charisma character. It's on you.
I'm gonna go open the box. I'm gonna go open the box.
That'll be fun.
Alright.
I'm gonna go open the box, and then I'm gonna come back with a -2 charisma character.
What is this box you speak of?
The one that casts power of kill when you open it.
Oh.
I'm gonna go open it.
Yeah.
You wanna... Okay.
Leah just sucks at speaking to people, and Leah's so invested in this D&D campaign that Leah is scared of upsetting the fantasy people because Leah can't speak to people.
You know what the secret is? Don't care what they think.
They can straight up rub one out.
That's a lucky quote right there.
Yeah, they can straight up run one out.
Yeah.
I guess they can.
They could also not.
Yeah.
You know, it's up to
Ghost
them.
nuts.
Did you say ghost nuts? Like ghost almonds?
Ooh.
Ghost ball.
Ghost peanuts?
Ghost peanuts.
Straight up jorking one out?
There could be ghosts jorking their peanuts right now. You guys wouldn't even know.
But can't we see them?
Not all of them. So dumb.
How do you approach someone?
You just go up to them and say hi.
Abelard walks up to House Fairlock.
Yep.
I'll figure it out as I go.
I'm
Who
going.
are
I'm
you?
joining. I'm joining. I'll follow you.
What am I looking at? What do they look like? Who looks like they're in charge? Does it look like it's a centralized kind of power structure, or does it look like a whole bunch of bickering people?
They actually look mostly like... Being a soldier yourself, you can recognize a family that's got pretty extensive military history. They're all dressed in some form of armor, for the most part. There are some that have more like your standard like plate mail. Some have like chain mail in various forms. It seems like those that don't have actually metal armor or have like more leather jerkins, they have been stylized. So it looks more refined than you'd see usually on a battlefield. So you assume this is either ceremonial or it is, I'd say, maybe like not like performative. You assume that it is still armor, but it doesn't seem as rugged as you'd expect from a battlefield or from any, like, from seeing any military.
So do they all look ceremonial, or do they? Some of them.
Not
look
all
like
of them.
that?
Some of them do look like actual soldiers that are on duty, so to speak.
And who would be, from looking at those, like looking at them, could I see like a structure of rank or something like that?
And they all have different, like, they have like braided cords that hang around from their shoulder, like across their body, almost like a sash. But I would say you probably wouldn't be familiar with that part of history. I would say that you could probably make the assumption that the people who are in the more informal, like ceremonial leather armor, they are probably the ones that are in charge.
And of them,
There's probably about 4 of them.
and when they're like, I suppose the group of them are like conversing or talking to one another, do they seem to be deferring to one of those 4 people more than the others, or is it more of a...
There is an older gentleman who has kind of not necessarily scraggly, long white hair, but it is less put together than some of the other nobles that you can see here. You assume this is a man who is mostly of, a battle-hardened disposition.
Okay.
He looks as if he is, or maybe still, is or was a soldier. He's not super old. I'd say he's probably like late 50s, 60s. But he is the oldest in that group of 4. You see that there are 2 boys who seem younger and have these like thick red curly hair on their head, and a younger woman as well.
Okay.
But she doesn't seem to bear any resemblance to the other 2.
Yeah, sure. I'll go up to the older guy, stragglier. So he's more battle hardened.
Yep.
Yeah. Excuse me, sir.
He kind of looks between the rest of your group, I'm assuming, that are following as well. Hello.
I was wondering, your family, they look military. I was wondering if you could help with something.
He's kind of checking to see if you're joking or not. Of course. What can I do for you?
Well, I assume you have an interest in the long-term stability of the realm.
I suppose so.
I don't know fucking anything about this situation. Alright. I'm a militaristic. Hold up. I'm just wondering, what do you actually think of the situation with the 3 heirs?
I don't have much to say about it, actually. I guess you could say I'm interested to see what happens, but I've got no skin in the game, so...
Do you have like so you just, what do you think of it? So like you've got no skin, but you're interested in it. Do you think any of the other houses or something are using it as like a way to, I suppose, get in power?
I wouldn't doubt it. But for me, I prefer to stay to the sidelines, do as I'm told.
Who do you think would probably do the best at, I suppose, maintaining order in the kingdom?
Roll a persuasion check.
I believe in you, buddy.
If he's military, surely heirs.
No, that's a good pal.
Yay! Yo, did you roll 1 on your
Yeah, the guidance
both
dice as well.
ones?
Like
that
I
makes
said,
a solid of like 3.
like I said, I'm interested to see what happens. I don't doubt other houses are using it as an opportunity, but I'm afraid I don't know you well enough to impart my opinion. Let's just say I do as I'm told, and whoever the natural ruler is, well, we'll see.
Is there meant to be like a normal hierarchy when it comes to inheritance? Should it be Aros who's he is the firstborn, is that correct? Would that be traditional inheritance?
Some say
Can I insight that?
Yeah.
Hot guidance dice. Love spot of prayer. Well, that's even better. It can't be worse. Insight.
Hang on, let me guide myself.
Yes.
15.
Real.
A 15. With a 15, yeah, you didn't really. I think you know that you didn't persuade him to share what he really thinks with you. You guarantee that he has an opinion on all of this and who should be in charge. But he seems to be keeping his cards quite close to his chest. You can see that he is looking around the room and scanning to see who might be looking or listening in.
Should I troll?
Troll?
I think we can bait the answer out of this guy.
If you know how to use words to speak to people...
I have a -1 to charisma.
But, like, if James knows how to use words to speak to people...
I just want to try to make this guy kind of annoyed.
I think he's already a bit annoyed.
Yeah.
Everyone already hates me. What's the point?
You don't know that. Not everybody hates you.
Only that one group.
From Tianak.
Yeah.
And also...
Oh yeah, you tried it again with another...
Yeah.
You tried it again with LaRoe, because we haven't been to Fairlock yet. So it has to be LaRoe that you tried it again with. You have one last chance at Fairlock.
I'm not going to say anything. I'm going to give it...
Hey, you with the brooch, do you know what this means?
Hey,
Yeah, what does this mean?
the 3 heirs, do any of them possess a similar style of brooch, or would there be would they have like a kind of connotation with symbolism like that at all?
You guys don't know. Not that you've seen. You guys haven't noticed any brooch visible on them, but you guys haven't really inspected their attire much for any like personal heralds or anything.
May I perception check it?
Yes, but you're in a conversation at the moment. So
Hold on a second.
so you can, but he's gonna think you're a fucking weirdo.
He
'Cause
already
you
does.
Just this Birdman coming up like,
Yo.
so what do you think of the natural inheritance cycle of kings? Tell me what you specifically think. Oh, I don't really think anything. I'm just interested in seeing what happens. What do you think?
Tell me.
Just this really intense, tell me.
Wait, no. Shut up. Let me look around the
Let
room
me
for a
look,
second.
That one. You like that one.
You're doing great.
Nasty, he doesn't want to talk to me anymore.
Okay. These people don't matter. I'm not going to know them for long.
I can't think like that about people.
But also, in terms of the puzzle, they do matter.
They do!
I mean,
If they've got like the kind of heraldry and stuff, like there's a high chance they generally control like higher level people in like probably the military. They wouldn't be the navy. You said Valen was navy, but there would still be ground forces.
so what's this guy's role?
We don't know.
So, what exactly is your... excuse my ignorance. What exactly is your role in... What do you do? What are you?
What are you?
Oh god, I can't do this.
He's kind of looking between you all. Well, if I didn't already know that you weren't from around here, I certainly do now. I'm a commander of
Add him
The
to the board,
Watch.
boys.
We don't know his name.
The commander of...
the Watch.
Is the watch a city based or an empire based?
Well, that depends who you ask. Our let's say our headquarters are in the capital, but we have lots of different squadrons that are in most cities.
Are you a private military, or are you...
Oh no, we're a military of the realm. We're conscripted by the king.
I was thinking if...
Where is the capital?
Yes.
Fuck's sake.
Lochie, we need you.
If I'm from out of
Wait,
this,
you just roll.
I-
You might know. You're a smart boy. I might know. Do I know what the capital of...
what's the empire's name?
Aramid land. Probably not that.
Guys.
The Agastan Empire. What is...
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
As you can tell, we are definitely not from here. What is... Where
I
is
can
the
roll,
capital?
don't ask.
Okay.
Um,
Roll.
do I know the name of the empire?
Roll a history check.
Can I give a guidance?
I had kind of already rolled it, but it
That
didn't
is
finish
too late.
rolling.
That is too late.
Okay, it's fine.
+7.
Plus 7?
22.
Okay.
For such a simple question as... What is the name of the empire?
Where is its capital?
Didn't ask that, Lochie.
Fuck.
Didn't ask that.
James.
That question will come after my now one.
Oh, good.
I'm just double checking because the capital did change. So my apologies, everyone. I'm
Did
going back
change
into my timeline.
In time? Or
Yeah.
Okay, sure.
It's different when they're alive to when you were alive.
When we
I
are.
would know this. Yeah. Yeah, sorry. When you are alive and would know
Oh, when
the
I...
name.
Oh, old me.
Yeah.
Ye olde 9.
Yes, ye old A9.
Alpha 9.
Alpha 9.
That's charismatic.
Um,
Oh!
I've come up with the name.
Alpha 9.
Yeah.
Sure thing, Tate.
Get away from me!
You said
Get away
nothing,
from
Tate.
I
me!
said sure thing, Tate.
Oh,
Yuck.
that's... No, don't even
Oh my
associate
god,
me.
Alf.
Somebody said huffing Tate.
Oh,
Anyway. With the 22.
The capital, as you would know it, is called Pyar.
Currently. As I am familiar. Am I...
Pyar. Pyar.
P-Y-A-R.
Mm-hmm.
P-A-Y-R?
Pyar.
P-A...
Fuck! My life!
So P-Y-A-R.
Yes.
That's it. 4 letters. Easy. What's the name of the empire?
The name of the empire
Do I need to
is
roll
the...
this?
No, I'd say and you can do it in your
Sure.
22. At the moment, it is the Avasarian Empire under the Aramid dynasty.
Ooh, same dynasty.
With that 22, with King Agast, does the dynasty change soon after his death?
Are you going to history check or?
I can. I was hoping that A9's one would coast through and I can just quiz you from that. Because
guy.
I have
That's
questions, but my stats aren't good enough for them.
Okay,
Just
sure.
ask me.
So- Okay, so does it change? It does. It's not a consistent dynasty.
And I don't know anything of the history. Wait, so this is from my time,
Yeah.
which is...
I would say with a 22, the monarchy in Balastria specifically is very tumultuous. Like, there are a lot of long-lasting dynasties. There are a lot of long-lasting noble houses, but very few are dynasties that control the crown, I would say. So very few of those houses actually ever sit atop the throne.
Okay.
But the Aramid dynasty has not been consistent.
In what way?
So they were ruling, somebody else was ruling, and then they were ruling again, and somebody else might have been ruling. Yeah, there's been a lot of years in between when this happened
Okay.
to now.
So, So, oh. Does that mean the king's elected? Or does that mean it's regular civil war?
It could
Or
be that the
coup.
king married into a different house and then died, and then the crown would have like naturally moved to that?
They're not elected.
Not elected. All right. Well, it wouldn't move houses. It would move heirs. If we're doing typical kind of inheritance things, it's typically a lot of the times when they marry into another dynasty in, like, say, European history, they wouldn't be the queen. They would be like a consort. That's at least how it works with the English one. Is because they didn't want the dynasty to pass towards them. They would only be passed down the heirs. So, for example, the English royal family, it won't ever go to whoever they've married unless the person they're married is that next in line for succession. What they'll do is they'll backtrace it up the family lines. So basically, if you kill enough people, eventually we could, in theory, be eligible to sit on the English throne. Because if somewhere in our past we've split off one of the royal family lines, is we could be next in line in succession. But they will backdate it all the way through. So theoretically, it shouldn't be swapping houses.
You
at least if
wouldn't
it
have to kill your parents, though.
Oh yeah. You would have to kill everyone in your family tree up to a certain point, and everyone else in a whole bunch of other people's family trees.
You just have to go on it.
Basically, you'll probably be
Your
killing the
parents will
entire
work out,
population of England to
Yeah.
begin with.
And then you got no one to rule.
But yeah.
I
Anyway.
would say A9 would probably know that, like I said, Balastria is really tumultuous. There have been a lot of civil wars and a lot of conquerings.
Civil wars. Okay.
And there's been a lot of, like, extinction of houses.
But Eramud has been relatively consistent in terms of its existence,
Yeah.
and it regularly is sat upon the throne. But there are gaps when it's not on the throne.
Yeah. I would say it... Okay. From A9's knowledge, with 22... Eramid has been a kind of long-lasting dynasty. Like, it's the house that has sat atop the throne in Balastria the most often.
So the actual capital is based in Balastria.
Yeah.
But it rules the Wyladium and...
Balastria. We knew this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
B for Balastria.
Okay.
We're
The
going
capital's
insane.
there.
I think I made this too hard.
It's...
Alright.
Look at the spaghetti.
So how Fairlock military regularly
I think
based
I
in the
made it too
capital,
hard,
but
guys.
has soldier squads across the different.
I love how we've gone from matching shapes to this.
In my defense, I thought this would be easier.
Then matching shit.
No.
Matching shapes is pretty easy.
But I also thought you would explore the temple more. So we've gone from like
Yeah.
entry level puzzle. I had so many others to the final puzzle.
Wait, we unlocked the doors. We can always go back.
It's a bit late now.
Alright. The capital base.
No.
It's okay.
What do you mean it's a bit late? Has it melted? It melted.
What the fuck are you talking about? It melted.
It melted.
Going on?
What's happening in the temple?
The temple is melted. It
Nobody
started
knows what
to
the fuck is
melt.
going on in the temple because nobody's investigated the temple.
I think we investigated and then we died, so then we got a little bit shocked, and then we just ran.
No, you asked Chivo specifically, hey, where's the direction of the chain? And then you immediately went that direction.
That's so true. That is exactly what we
We
did.
did.
I mean, hey, that makes sense.
We got a bit
These are like-
shocked.
Alrighty.
We got a bit scared of exploring
We can
because
do
we kind of
this.
died.
Yeah. Alright. Okay.
Too many people already hate Weird Robot Guy. It's up to you.
I think it's the way you approach people, I'm gonna be honest.
So, Fairlock.
What are you?
Robot Guy.
So,
Just a
alright.
little
Just
robot
asking
guy.
this
Alright,
random guy
so,
you don't
Fairlock,
know.
military house,
What are you?
typically in command of the watch and the guard, happy following orders, they're soldiers. The question is, at least from my perspective, is who would they prefer giving the orders? Eros likes fighting, which inherently means more funding for, say, the military, and that sort of kind of institution. But he may also make poor tactical decisions because he likes fighting so much.
Yes.
So Varen, who is more measured and reasonable from your descriptions, may potentially have more loyalty from them, because if she can make more tactical decisions that make more sense, they might prefer that. In terms of where we put people, we either, if the capital is in Balastria, we probably want the one that we actually want to have the most power actually sitting there, because that's where the capital is. So maybe we have Varen in Balastria Renadium, and then we put the Child King in where the Kingdom of Acheron right now is, because that would mean he would act as a buffer. And then have Amos where the Prussian Empire is, and that puts distance between Varen and Arost, who are probably the two largest sort of threats to sort of controlling where it sits right now. At least from my interpretation so far.
That is way better than anything we've come up with in like
They haven't been thinking
11
of
hours.
solution. They've been getting facts.
I don't
first.
even see what the I don't understand what the solution would even possibly look like. I don't understand what people want.
I don't understand politics, so
So Phalok, it says here, so they were in Balastria and they've moved to their house to Wyladium.
yes.
Where in Wyladium?
You don't know.
On the left.
This guy is just standing there, just.
They should all get used to it, because that's what all of them that we've been speaking to have had to do.
Right.
They're just be like, why the fuck are these guys staring off into space?
This one is. I can't draw on this, can I?
Yes, you can.
No,
Not with a pen.
Not the
You're
whiteboard. My map.
I was looking at the map. I want to put their names on the map.
I can draw the map
We already
really
have little
quick.
letters. What more do you need?
I can draw the
Here's
map.
one I prepared earlier.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. All right. Oh, how did you design this? Was it in a computer or photocopied? You draw it like pencil and photocopy it, or? Did
I drew it in pencil, and then I really painstakingly copied all of my pencil lines with my trackpad.
No. No, I have a drawing tablet that you can use.
No, right.
Too late now. I've already made the map, guys.
Okay.
Make it again.
Holy.
So,
It's too late.
I would
now.
have given you my whole ass wax.
No, it's too late. I already made this. I already made it. It made me want to kill myself, but it's okay.
I'm gonna keep the Wyladium ones.
And then
off
I
there,
resized them, and that also made me want to kill myself.
so turn
But
it.
it's okay. I'm going to be making a prop world map soon when I get a chance. It's going to be so fun. It's too late now. This was years ago.
I don't even have a trackpad.
Trackpads are fun.
In terms of, I suppose, the actual three, like the three kind of areas of thing, which one has like the most sort of conflict in it? Like, what's the most recent conquest?
The most recent conquest?
Like, what is the area that has the most sort of revolt and resistance sort of movements within it?
In your time or in their time?
In their time.
In their time, the most recent conquest was in Wyladium.
Okay. So there'll be probably sort of local resistance that explains why Fairlocks would be there. Because there'll be military operations currently going in terms of keeping that under control.
This guy's good. This guy's really good, James. We've needed him from the
I don't
start.
know if I'm being right. I'm making...
But like, you're making way more assumptions than we did because we didn't know what assumptions to make.
I'm going from educated guesses. This could all be wrong because we haven't actually asked.
Hey, at least your guesses are educated.
Alright, so
We're just
Paladin,
making uneducated guesses.
Vaylon
We
is...
haven't even been guessing.
That's so true.
You guys were fact finding, that's important.
We were, so that we were fact finding for Lochie, so that when he comes here,
He can do
has
this.
the facts.
No, thanks.
Yes.
I love the facts.
Yeah, because we just. I don't think me, Connor, and James had any chance of solving it.
There's no right or wrong way to solve it.
I feel like they're all...
There is a wrong way to solve it.
Wrong?
Actually, I take that
Yeah,
back.
kill everybody?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
What do you mean?
Well, we weren't gonna do that. I didn't even think about killing them
Well,
until
sorry,
Lochie
cat, I
mentioned
kicked
it,
the
so.
Does the capital move at all in their time? Like, does it move out of Balastria into Wyladium?
No.
So it's always in
We gotta be
Balastria.
involved.
Yeah.
Relax.
However, only two that are. Oh, Eramud's there as well, but that makes sense. That's where the royal family's based. But only. Other than that, Paligla and. Only two of the. Okay. My interest now, where in Wyladium are Fairlock. Because we know it's divided into two different countries. There's the Kingdom of Acheron and the Prussian Empire. But where in Wyladium are they?
Dude, standing in front of you.
I know. I'm trying to put together what I guess and kind of
Sure.
go from there. Logically speaking, shortest landing distance.
Come on.
Conquest Road was started in the north. On the map, north is kind of going up towards.
What's wrong, James?
I've been replaced by Longton. And he's doing a much better job.
No!
James!
There's no...
In terms of north's that way on the map, right?
Raid.
Alright, cool. So they probably would have gone from northern Balastri into
James, you're doing a great job. What do you think,
southwestern
James?
Wyladium. In terms of conquest, it's the shortest distance to cross the sea by. So if you're going to conquer a country, you probably want, and you're doing the amphibious thing, you probably want some of the shortest distance so you can keep your supply lines.
You should be discussing this with an NPC, I reckon.
Yeah, but it's also really weirdly sus when you go up to someone and go, hey, tell me all your military secrets. How do you invade this country?
I don't feel like you guys have been particularly subtle or not creepy when you've been approaching.
That's
this
why I'm so
distance,
scared to
so-
approach
Is
people
there
as
a-
well.
Is
I'm
there a
too
not
creepy.
creepy way to approach
I
like
know,
a family
I'm
you've
trying to
never
think
met
of
before
one.
and
It's
try to
been-
solve all of their problems?
It's been 3 weeks and I haven't thought of one yet, so I just keep freezing whenever I have to approach someone.
Wait,
Go.
hey, I'm sorry to interrupt. And then maybe do some small talk. And then oh, by the way, King sent us over here to solve some issues with the houses.
Okay.
So do you watch the game on Sunday?
I love the game.
Wait, so in terms of this actual problem,
They're all still
they all
forgive.
know that Agast is still present in that room
Yeah.
and that we could have talked to him.
Yep.
Cool. Fuck. I didn't realize. I thought the way, or at least the way that
Agast is the one who said, "I'll give you the key if you solve
cool.
the fighting here."
How much have we asked about Agast about the situation?
Not at all, I don't think.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, I would
The
ask.
situation is here for contextual reasons.
Because there's a chance.
Agast, this is what actually happens in history and why you guys are in this position right now, is that Agast dies
Yeah.
and has not named an heir. So he has not specifically said that Arost will be his heir or that Veyron will be his heir. So at the moment the succession is unclear.
And I assume Agast wouldn't just tell us who they wanted to succeed. Does he want us to actually divide it to 3? Does he say
He
wants-
hasn't said. He said just
hasn't.
solve it, basically.
He just wants them to stop arguing.
Yeah. And there is the issue of, well, technically Agast, at the time of his death, was married to Veyron and Amost's mother, but his first wife, where, the mother of Arost, died. So, whose succession line do you follow?
We have at least the way I would interpret it is whoever would be first, whoever's firstborn is typically it. No matter who the mother was, it was typically whoever in the royal family birthed it. If the marriage was legitimate, he would still be first in line. But also fantasy world, so I shouldn't probably take the English monarchy. Wait, Holly also did say it was.
See, I don't know what even the thing that Holly said it was based off of was. So
Well, I didn't remember exactly which place it
But,
was.
like-
French and England pretty much have the
Wouldn't have
same
even
sort of
guessed.
system.
been able to. So
I would say typically you know that the succession lines are still... It's still that it's the eldest.
Okay.
And typically it's the eldest male at this point in time.
Okay.
It changes later on to just be the eldest child.
I mean, if that's the case, Aeros would make the most sense. Even if we don't like him, in terms of legitimacy, he'd have the best claim. In terms of who's most popular, it depends what they want. Like, Aeros potentially could also make a good puppet. If he just wants to fight and stuff like that and not focus, you're looking at like Robert Baratheon from Game of Thrones. Where
That
really...
is, yeah, Connor picked up on that as well. That is who he's based off.
Yeah, so you're looking at probably his relatively good puppet. There's a chance he's got strong emotions, which may make him harder to control. In terms of best puppet, you'll be looking at the youngest. He's still quite young, easily raised by one of the houses. He would make a great puppet for the house that raises him. The thing about Veyron is Veyron's smart, so she might actually pay attention to what's going on. So if the houses want someone that if the houses want the best one, it would be Veyron, clearly. If she's paying attention, she'll make the best choice for the kingdom. But they probably don't want what's best for the kingdom, they want what's best for themselves. Because Aeros would be popular with probably both Vaelon and Fairlock. Because military, and someone like fighting.
House of Valon is the one that's in fighting at the moment, where half of them, actually I'd say it's probably closer to like 70% want Veyron.
Okay.
And then 30% want Aerost. Nobody wants Aerost.
Well, that makes...
Kid, child.
Fucking 12-y.
Uh,
Get off my
they
throne,
might like it
bitch.
then, because raised there for favourable things.
A conundrum.
Lockie's like.
Do you guys think this is the most evil thing I've done?
I think this is really, really interesting. I'm upset that I don't know enough about like this to like be like Lochie.
Shame.
I don't know how to talk to people.
That too. I also don't know how to do
While
that.
you guys are thinking, you could also talk to NPCs, and maybe that'll
Yeah.
give you some more facts.
This is a great idea.
Can you speak to
Jambus?
the NPC and ask him why his family's based in Wyladium?
Why is your family based in Wyladium? Oh.
Yeah, small.
Well, small talk it a little
It's
bit.
too
as
late
well.
now. You guys
Yeah,
have already
there's no
approached me
small
like.
talk.
Started with
What
the
are
gigantic
you?
talk.
Yeah, there's
Okay.
no small talk.
Yeah,
to be
why-
had.
Yeah, you went up to this random guy and were like,
Did they see?
"Hey, what do you think?"
Did they all see us
about the
speak to
succession problem?
Agost?
You don't know that they were all paying attention, but you did speak to Veyron and say, "Hey, the king told us to solve this." You just haven't mentioned that to literally anybody else. I don't think.
Wait,
Maybe.
why-
Oh, Aerost, you have mentioned
Why
it
are you
too.
even looking for an heir if Agost is still like right there?
Because he dies.
But he's still there, like in the room with everyone. Can they not see him?
No,
No, we.
If they couldn't see him, us going up to Vera and be like, "Hey, sir, your dad actually told us that we have to do a thing." And she's like, "What?"
So they know he's dead,
yeah.
but he's also standing amongst them.
Well, this is spectral. That
But
it's
they
there
don't
is an element
know.
of magic to it.
They don't know that they're dead, right?
We don't know, and I don't think we should try and find out.
But like,
Because it'll be a bad idea if
Sure.
they take it bad.
surely you'd think like, oh, that guy's dead, but I see him right there. Surely that sends trigger some alarm bells. I'm so confused. I don't know how this works.
You can roll an Arcana check.
I would love to.
Can I just dispel magic
No
from the
triangles
locker?
from anyone because
Okay.
I rolled far too quickly. That's
Okay.
my fault.
Okay.
I
have a plus
think that's
7.
a 14.
A 14?
Too low.
Yeah, this is obviously very, very complex magic.
I will not say that out loud while this mysterious man is standing in front of us.
Yeah.
Hey, mysterious guy.
Well,
Why does your family live in Wyladium?
Does Aeros want to be king?
yes. He said many times, I think I would make the best king.
Yeah, he said how cool he was a lot.
So he actually wants it.
Yes.
Mhm.
He wants it bad.
He assumes he already has it.
Yeah. I mean, look, in terms of the legitimacy, is the safest bet.
You think? You don't know much about his marriage.
Like, how are we even supposed to... So the houses are deciding the heir?
The house is always back the throne. So they're typically the actual powers.
So we have to actually get them to agree.
Or
Or at
make some
least,
calls.
like, get a majority. Well, who already has the most support? We think it's Aegas. Sorry. Eros at the moment, but that's because dodgy.
That's because
Question
Connor
marks.
kept putting question marks next to everyone's name.
I assume we can't just call all the houses and the heirs into the middle of the room and then just asking them to vote on things with their eyes closed.
Genius.
Genius.
Problem solved.
You're a genius!
You solved the problem with democracy.
It's like heads down, thumbs up.
Yeah.
Democracy
This way.
Manifest.
This way.
What is my crime? Enjoying a meal, a succulent Chinese meal. This is democracy manifest.
I mean, hey, it's just the problem is just talking it out. They only make the decision. Like I think they all know that they have to make the decision.
But I think we need to make them agree a little bit more, because like, you know how it is. Like you agree to vote on something, and then a few other people don't like the fact that their vote wasn't the majority, so then they continue to bicker. Like, we need to make it an overwhelming majority. So. Should we just tell this guy, like, cut to the chase? We're being bribed with evil magic.
Lovely
to-
weather we're having here.
Hey, dude. So I'm actually in this temple because my god. You see that guy over there? Yeah, he doesn't look like that anymore, but he's hanging out. I'm trying to free him because people think he's evil or whatever. Anyway, so I'm here.
Jesus.
I gotta get through that door down there. Please just make a decision. Is that what you want me to do?
Well, you guys are assuming that solving the fighting implies that you have to solve the succession. Perhaps not.
Guys, why don't we all just kiss
That's
and
a
make
good
up?
point. Yeah, why don't we just start making out?
Wait a
Why
second.
don't we all just
If
take
you're
off our
making out,
clothes?
then you'd shut up.
Have we just asked Agars, hey, who do you want to be heir?
I bet he probably. Well, we need to we need to deal with this guy first. Look,
Lovely
I mean-
weather we're having.
You
Yeah, it's great.
you're probably a little bit confused as to what this eclectic bunch of strangers are doing, probing you with all these, frankly, strange questions. The king has sent us to settle the
Fighting
Dispute
and disruptions.
that fills this hall,
Right.
and obviously, well, the root of a lot of this is, amongst other things, the succession to the throne.
So that's why we're trying to
That's why
quote
we're.
unquote probe for information. Well, we are. That's why we're trying to probe for information
But
to learn a bit more about stuff and try and solve it as much as possible. We did end up over there, Malak. They're not yelling at Opal anymore. They're yelling about getting drunk now. So I don't know if
I
that's
suppose they are.
helping or not, but at least they're not yelling with each other.
I suppose, as far as succession goes, you're supposed to be mostly neutral.
Are you saying it like you're implying?
It's a question.
You're asking him if he's neutral.
I'm stating that that's what I believe, and I'm leaving it open for him to refute.
Neutral bracket question mark bracket.
How does he react to me making that statement?
Roll an insight check for me.
Oh wait, no, that's not the other one.
3.
Yay! Wait, +3?
Yep.
Oh, 9.
9. He kind of he squints. Before he'd been kind of impassive, if not just confused. But he seems a bit offended by what you've said. He kind of straightens a little bit and puffs out his chest.
Oh, goddamn.
Aye, of course we're neutral, as we should be.
As I suspected. As I expected.
Well, if you don't mind, I'll be heading off. And he begins to kind of like...
Why is he so
Alright,
offended by
buddy.
this?
Anyway, well, if you're heading off, can I head back to Agars?
Sure, yeah, you can. He kind of nods at you all Is there anything else? Do you want to stop him? Do you want to ask him any more questions?
The guy that he said is heading off, right?
Yep.
Do we
I'm
want-
gonna head out.
I'll wave goodbye and
Sure, you let him go. Okay. Yep.
The bird.
I will walk. I want to.
Yeah.
I walk back up to Aegas.
Okay.
Oh my god.
This is chaos.
Sure. He is still sat at the head of the table. His head is bowed.
So it's like a dining room table sort of style.
Yeah.
And how is it positioned? Like in terms of, is it positioned like in this kind of loop, or is it like him at the front of the table, and then like what's sort of the order of the heirs? Where are they placed about the table?
Nobody else is sitting. No heirs are sitting at the table.
So it's just the houses.
Well, everybody's kind of scattered around the room in little groups. There are some now that are sat at the table because Arost has called them to drink. So they're chatting and speaking to one another. But other than that, it's not really like anybody is formally sitting at the dining table.
Hey, actually, guys, we've gotten one of them sitting at the table.
One of
Not fighting, but drinking and being happy-ish.
them. Can we
Does
just...
that mean we've fixed that little problem there because they're hanging out now and they're not yelling? Huh?
Very good.
Does that mean that we're actually solving the puzzle without realizing that we were solving the puzzle?
I mean, look, that actually makes a lot of sense. We just need to get them at the table to talk
To talk and to hang out.
with the king, who needs to make the decision.
The king is dead.
Yeah, but he's sitting at the table right now.
That will confuse them.
But, like, that's like... Yes, because the king was the only one sitting at the table, and now we brought one of them groups to sit at the table. We get the boldest
Could
at
I-
the table.
Ask. Excuse me, my lord. My highness.
My
Hello?
My radiant ruler.
Hello?
Which one of your children do you think should be heir?
You're asking
Yeah.
him directly? I was not expecting you to do that.
Why?
It feels like a very rational starting point.
It's
Yeah,
the fastest solution to the problem. Hey, we need you to pick an heir, and that makes them legitimate. Can you tell us who it is?
Well, you watch as he kind of looks up at you. I'm surprised you guys didn't ask in the first place. But
Look, we're
he
stupid.
looks up at you, and you see his eyes kind of widen for a second, and then it falls back into that neutrality. There are many possible solutions for who I want to be on this throne, of course. I have sinned, I guess you could say.
Sinned.
I was not faithful. And who I want to be on the throne, who is my rightful heir, is not who the realm believes it to be.
Well, the realm does not seem to be in agreement.
You're here as well, asking?
May I be
Yeah.
here?
Sure.
You'll be there.
Are you all here asking?
Well, if they're there...
I just
I'm
thought I was
here.
gonna go. I've just added him to the list of people that hate me and not to talk to again.
Ah, poor
You
Elaine.
guys didn't try.
I tried.
Could've tried,
I
you
tried
could've
to get
tried.
angry.
Yeah, because you implied that he wasn't.
No, I was.
Anyway, what were you talking about faithfulness? Who is the rightful heir?
What was your question?
With all due respect, the realm does not seem to be in agreement over who should be the heir to the throne. In fact, that's seemingly
Of
the
course
root of
they
all
are
this.
not. Secrets are not secrets for very long in the palace.
So who is the rightful heir? And do you want that rightful heir as your heir, or do you want the ones that they think should be the rightful heir to be the heir?
Roll a persuasion check with advantage.
Lochie's, this is the first correct thing that has been said. So
I
far.
know.
Thank you, Lochie. Is that a 1 I see?
Don't worry, the advantage helps. That's 19, 21 plus my persuasion, 23.
We've needed this
23.
for a while.
He looks between you, Abelard, and A9, and sighs. As it happens, my true heir. If I could name my heir as my heir, I would. But that is not how things have ever worked here before. Varen is my heir. Aerost was born of a bastard woman.
Wait a second. I'm not saying that in character, so I continue.
Wait a moment.
The first royal marriage was not so royal after all. I have certain duties as a king, and I did not fulfill them. I was to wait for the marriage to my second wife, but as Nights of Passion happen in Conquest, I fell in love for a night with a woman in Vyladium, and she was to have my child. This obviously is a scandal that cannot happen for my first heir, and so I did what any father, any king would do. I sought help from those smarter than me to solve this issue, and it so happens that the Tiernax had a good solution for me, that is to masquerade as marrying one in their family.
So the first queen was Tambin?
No.
No. So Turnak has the first queen?
Yeah.
Who is Deborah, or?
Mhm.
Of course they would. Of course they'd be like, oh, here's a great solution. You should pretend you're married to us.
Okay.
And then they get all this power that comes associated with it.
Why
not
is
being the
Deborah
king out of
under
his little
Larov?
doozy. Sly buggers.
So Deborah is from House Turnak. Not House Larov.
Well, he has just said that he sought help from Tiernak, and they said that they would marry, that he could marry one of their own.
Okay.
But you know that it's Deborah, is the name that Aeros gave you for his mother.
So,
Wait.
so Deborah is from House Turnak?
Not exactly, no. Deborah was a bastard of the Lerov family, but the Tiernax came up with the solution for me, and that is to masquerade as Deborah being nobility. They forged noble paperwork for her, and, well, such is history.
Okay.
Oh my
Wait.
god.
So this. Wait. Why did the Teenax recommend that? Why did they? What? Why would they recommend that he marry someone from house? It just makes no sense. Surely you'd get him to marry someone from your own house, so you can't have the power that's
If
associated
they're
with
like,
it.
yeah, but they already have the power because he went to them, right? Like they already have that power over him anyway because he went to them for help.
Oh, and
So
they-
obviously to make sure that it doesn't ever fall back on them, they would use a bastard so that, you know, if he were to try to like expose it and stuff like that, he could be like, that's not associated with us. That's this house. That's not our house.
And also, all three houses are associated with one another.
Yeah, but like they could always like be like, no, that's not us, and there'd be like no proof that it's ever under their house because it never got married under their house and stuff like that.
If you don't mind me asking, do you know anything about the symbols that Turnak, Lorov, and Fairlock are wearing?
I have one of them in my hand.
This one.
I'll hand it to you.
Yeah.
Lochie.
Do you know anything about this symbol?
Have fun. Good piece. Go.
I am afraid not. Tirnak is a rather agricultural house. They handle most of the grain of the empire. I would assume that it would be something to do with that, but I'm afraid if it is, I do not know.
Okay. So in terms of all the houses, like we know Valon is like I suppose more navy based. Fairlock said they were commanders of the watch. Does that mean they're more kind of army officers, military?
Well, the Fairlocks have a strong history in security, in the handling of armies. They are very experienced commanders.
And then, so Turnak is agriculture, Fairlock is the military, Valon is the navy. What do all of the houses do, if you don't mind me asking? Like, where do they kind of sit in the power of the realm?
Well, they each offer their own benefits. All Braids are very experienced in the arcane arts. It is always handy to have arcanists in your vicinity. Malaxe, they are quite prominent in their trade.
If they are very prominent in the trade, are they the wealthiest of the houses, or does that go to someone else?
I suppose that depends on who you are asking and who is counting their coffers. The Malaxes will always say that they are the wealthiest, as will the Tirnaks.
Okay. And what does House Opal do? They said that they are based entirely in the White Ladium, which is your most recent of conquests. Was there a previous family that has been ported in from White Ladium's previous inhabitants, or are they something that was started in Balastria?
They were started in Balastria, and they proved themselves to be very loyal subjects, very experienced, and so we rewarded them as we made conquest with their own kingdom.
So in terms of the actual running the room, is each of the houses have their own kingdom per se, or is House Opal like a separate entity that's like a vassal state?
House Opal is still a member of our empire. They are not a vassal. They were gifted a portion of Wyladium to oversee for us as we made our conquests there.
And so actually in terms of what they offer to the empire, is it like a governance setup? Are they good at governing administration, or are they...
I would hope that they are, yes.
Is that so? Because you said that Malacca is like a trade-based one. So would that be, I suppose, their expertise then?
I believe so. I would say that they have just been very helpful advisors. They have their fingers in a lot of pies.
Good. Okay, so they're administrators that go between sort of guys. And House Lovrov's one that Deborah was from. What exactly do they offer to the realm? Is it?
They are very helpful for all sorts of craft and trades, those sorts of things.
So like artisans. And House Peligla, what does they do? Are they... I suppose... you seem to have a lot of the sort of fields that you need covered. What does House Peligla sort of responsible?
He kind of squints a little bit and is looking at over at House Pelaglia. Well, let's just say if there is something that needs to be done, you go to the House Pelaglia.
Cool name and cool job.
What do they mean by get something done? They mean,
Does he mean?
do they mean, is that what they did with Deborah? Is that like a, were you offended by what I said? Or do you think?
So they are, I suppose, a quieter resource to use than, say, using House Fairlock.
It depends on the situation. I'm sure they have some means of doing so.
But I suppose their expertise in, I suppose, more secret acts, ones you probably don't want to publicize.
Well, if they are not entirely used for that purpose, no, but I suppose they could make do with that.
So assassins. Okay. Draw a line, and then you've got assassin. You got, so I suppose, assassin, secret service sort of energy. You've got the army. You've got the navy. You have trade, arcane arts, governance, and kind of administration, agriculture, and the artisans. Okay. And then in terms of them as well, do you think they would all back Eros if you were to proclaim him as heir, or would you think that they would want that, or would, if you were to say Veyron is your heir, would they honor that?
He seems a bit uncomfortable. Roll a persuasion check for me.
Fact guidance.
Give me a second.
16. That's a 16 on that persuasion check.
16. As I said to you, secrets that are secrets in a palace do not last very long. There are many people who know of my indiscretion. I was not, of course, the one to reveal that to the rest of these houses, but as so happens, once one person knows who is not supposed to, then all of them know. Erost, being the eldest born son to my lineage, is for many in line for the throne, and they would agree with that. If I were to name him my heir, there would be some uproar from those that are affected by Veyron not being on this throne, but if I were to name Veyron, there's a greater risk, of course.
So in terms of this one, I suppose Amos is completely out of the question, or?
Well, if you are following Veyron's succession, then Amos would be the next in line after Veyron.
And then I suppose in terms of that itself, Veyron has appeared as quite competent at least. She seems intelligent and capable of ruling. Eros seems more interested in, I suppose, the more luxurious part of ruling.
Roll an insight check for me, please.
That's not great. When it comes to inside, that's an 11.
An 11? He smiles when you mention that Veyron is obviously very competent and very smart, but he seems to grow a bit more serious when you mention Arost. It seems as if he's uncomfortable with the whole issue with succession.
Okay.
Yeah.
In terms of, I suppose, just so, I suppose, to help us solve this, do you think Aeros would make at least a good king? Would he have the best interests of his people at heart, or would he be someone that would ignore their needs for his own? I understand this is uncomfortable to ask any father to speak ill of their children, but in terms of, I suppose, the health of the realm, would he make the best choice?
Would he make the best choice? I am not claiming to be someone that can see into the future. That would be an impossibility. Aerost or Varen, who is the better choice, it depends on what you value. I personally believe that Aerost, though I love my son, is too temperamental for the throne. Varen, I mean, Varen is smart, she is capable, and she is most of all on an even keel. That is usually better for a realm. Aerost, while he may have the energy of one that is loved by all and can rule very well, he is too easily led by his sword. But Varen can be too calculating, and she is a woman, and that is always going to cause some issue with traditionalist houses.
Which houses are the traditionalist ones?
Write this down. I'll write it down.
What do you think we're doing?
Drawing cute little pictures.
But with writing on the sides.
Well, your traditionalist houses will typically be those that are, let's say, the elder houses, those that wish for Varen to... If Varen had been a man, then there would not be this issue. Many of my own house would see Aerost sit atop the throne rather than Varen herself. Many of the members of House Valon are traditional in their approach to things. Lerov, they tend to be rather traditional as well. Malak, I would say, are more progressive than the others, but they have a special bond with Aerost.
So in terms of, I suppose, for vested interests of the houses, obviously Turnak suggested Aerost to legitimize him. Lerov is the house he is officially partially descended from.
That is correct, yes.
And Malaxay had a hand in raising him, so they would all have, I suppose, very vested interests in him on the throne, as he may be more favourable towards their houses? Or...
Well, it depends on who you ask, of course, but Tirnak, their wishes are never clear, even to many of their own members. I do not pretend to understand their ideas behind who they wish to have on the throne. They have a rather unique advice, I would say, for this throne.
And what do they share with the Rov and Fairlocks? They all seem to have the same sort of symbolism about them. Do they have any sort of interest with together, or any sort of lands, or are they similar sort of where they're from?
I am afraid I have no idea.
And in terms of Fairlock, why did they move from Balastria, where the capital is and the center of their authority is, to Wyladium? Was it something that you granted them in terms of land, or...?
I did offer them some estates, some castles in Vyladium, but if you ask me, I believe they had strong ties to Albright and wished to be closer to them.
So Albright's and Fairlock are, I suppose, close, like together in terms of what they work with?
As close as I have ever seen of any house.
Okay. And in terms of, I suppose, the solution to this, are you just looking for one heir to take this throne? Are you interested in it being divided? Would you like it 2 kingdoms? Would you want one to hold the title and one to kind of hold most of the power in the shadows? Do you have a preference to how you want this resolved? Because in theory, you could have Veyron handle the administration of the realm and handle that side of things, and allow Eros to, I suppose, have a glorified position in the army.
All I want is for the fighting to stop. If I name Veyron as my heirs, and I admit publicly to everyone that I do not think my eldest born son is a legitimate ruler. If I am to name Eros, then I am covering up that I believe Veyron would be a smarter choice. The houses all disagree with whatever decision I make, and they will continue to disagree, and it will cause greater infighting no matter what I decide.
How big is this room?
How big is this room? I forget if I gave you guys specific dimensions or not. It's a pretty massive room.
Okay.
Because there's like really massive like statues.
Yeah.
It
It's
seems
built for
giant
gods.
size.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's built for gods. Yeah. You're gonna destroy undead?
No.
Do it.
I was thinking of AR Logras prepping calm emotions would just be like, fighting stop, they're on neutral now.
Does it work on specters?
I've got no idea. I do know the spell though.
Stop yell.
Stop
What if I
yell.
just silence the entire room?
Ooh.
Everyone stop yell.
Let's see, where is it? Second level spell. It's 20-foot radius, so 40-foot diameter circle. Bigger.
This is a huge room, yeah.
Alright. And in terms of, I suppose this is, I assume you wouldn't be able to get all the houses to just sit down and have a civilized discussion about the 2 options.
I have tried many times. There's only so much a king can do when he has an entire empire to rule. I do not pretend to know the inner workings of all of these houses. I am far more occupied with other things. Shall we take a break? Do we need a break for the brains?
I'm just taking a moment. I think the answer is Veyron. There's a person that answers Veyron.
That's who I would pick, but it doesn't matter who we would pick.
Because if we pick Veyron, the people that like.
It's not a matter of us. We can't just pick. We can't just say, okay, everyone, this person is the. We have to get them to agree.
We just need to get them to stop fighting. What if we just sew every single person's mouth shut? We go around one by one. They can all line up.
You guys start jamming the needle into their fucking lips.
They're all like running, fenced in. Alright.
The ghosts, they'll get put back in the room, right? If they're bound to the room, they'll just get put back in the room. You
The
can
problem,
run.
the problem as
Not
well
long.
is with the answer could actually be Amos in terms of makes sense because both Veyron and Eros could contest that throne very easily, and if you put one on top of the other, they both have a chance of starting a fight with the other one because they're both smart enough to do it. Amos, on the other hand, probably has no chance of ever sitting on the throne, but
If we
he
all
doesn't. he's like the, I suppose he's like the Biden choice in a way, where he's just like, he's there.
We all pick Amos, then they'll all be in agreement to fight us. So then the fighting for them will stop because they'll stop fighting each other.
And then they'll all come within range of turn undead.
Yes! And then we can calm emotions and then they can all be happy.
History check. Who ends up sitting on the throne after Aegon's normally?
You don't know. You guys didn't know.
Yeah, I
don't
think
you
we tried.
tried a roll. I think A9 rolled and didn't know.
Yeah, we tried our best.
Yeah,
That was a question we did ask. We did do that one. 1 out of like 11 that you've asked. But we did one.
Next question. Who was the first female queen?
You
Was
sneaky
there
bitch.
ever?
Roll a history check. We'll see how high you get.
That could be. That's a very smart question. If it did end up being Veyron.
Because she would have been the first.
Yeah.
10.
Oh, Lochie.
Oh,
No idea.
That was really smart though. That was
Yeah.
some serious thinker Lincoln right there.
You're not sure. There has been, for the Balastrian Empire continent, there has actually been. Actually, how many? There's been a few queens.
One of them Veyron.
I don't know.
Do any of them just sort of like the random rating I did? I think it's up with a V.
History check on my reading, not on the queens.
Yes.
Could I
That random
perceive
literacy.
who was the queen in the bar?
Yes, can I charisma the queen to think if I know the queen from 3,000-ish years ago?
Did
Could
they
I?
scissor?
Can I persuade the past to give me the answers?
We just asked Trayvon, like, yo.
I already feel bad because he was upset that I used him as a compass. I don't want to
You
use
should
him
tell
again.
him he was a really good compass.
Also, this is what he wanted. He wants us to break the chain.
But he doesn't want me to use him as a compass.
What fucking good is he then?
Use him as fucking Google.
Use him as a
Bro, you want this. This is how we do it. Can you help?
No, actually, because
Because if you're not going to
Get out
help,
of jail
we're
card.
just going to leave.
Jambus, you wanted to ask something.
Sorry, I just Google searched the word dumb. I went to images, and I feel at home. No, I don't think I was going to ask something. I looked at you as if I had something to ask.
Yes. You said, can I? And you did this.
Holly, can I just
I was
can I
probably
just
gonna
go
say
down?
something dumb.
Can I just
That's
go
what I
down?
said.
Can I?
Can I just have the key, please? Can I just go home?
Just give me the key. I'm tired of your puzzle.
What if I cast silence on you specifically?
On me?
So you give me the key because you can't hear their fighting. If it's silenced around you.
I mean,
People just beating
hey,
the shit out of each other.
that might be a solution there. It's just like, yeah, that
I
would
don't
work.
even know if Nadriah has silence. I don't remember if I picked it up or not. I do!
I do as well.
Yeah! 2 silences.
I do really actually want to try that.
No, you don't.
Because that's the thing, is 100% the phrasing there is he doesn't want to hit, what he said, he just wants the fighting to stop.
If you close your eyes, I can make it all go away for like an hour.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. 20 minutes.
Jesus
You
Christ.
could say it's forever and just get the key from him.
But then when we're coming back up, he'll be like, hey, what the fuck?
That's not our problem then.
That is our
What
problem
the hell?
when we're dying. Also, we want to go exploring if we are able to, because now I'm unsure. I want to go exploring. I just got really scared and shaken up by the dead.
I think Temple already melted.
I got really shaken up.
We can unmelt it. We can put it in the fridge.
Did Leah cry at the death?
I cried in the car.
Not at the table, no.
I had a moment in the car.
You should try throwing rocks next time.
Maybe that'll work.
If emotional pain doesn't work, try physical pain.
I felt really bad.
Just pulls out nail gun.
Yay!
Please.
So we're still with Agos, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that the houses would come if you were to call them very loudly to come sit at the table?
Well, of course, I am the king.
Would you like to lead a discussion with our assistants about potential heirs? If you were to directly...
Were you listening to what I had to say?
They won't care? And that was... Well, they should care. You're the king.
Well, it might not end the arguments.
As much as I wish to name one, my heir, those who disagree with whoever I name shall, whether they do it directly or indirectly, they will still have their final say and there will still be arguments. This is inevitable. I simply want as many to agree on whatever they can as possible.
Why don't we ask them who they would prefer and just have them vote on it?
That is up to you.
Would they all, if it was a, I suppose you said you wanted the majority to agree. If the majority agreed to one of the two candidates, you could always phrase it as of your indecisions. They both show competency and would be able to do it. You could say, voice your opinions on both of them. You can say some strengths and weaknesses of both, and you could ask them to make an educated guess or an educated kind of position of of which ones they would like to be their next ruler.
This is assuming they will be civil.
Well, you can always not let them debate it amongst themselves. It seems like they've done enough debating amongst themselves about the issue. So they've already had it. You're just literally asking them for a final say and just ask them to raise hands. If they do verbally come to it. How big's the table?
It's pretty big. It covers almost the entirety of the room.
Fuck.
Yeah.
But it fits everyone in the room on that table.
Seems like it, yeah.
Would they all have a vote if it was to be that, or are there like house heads that would be the ones that would?
There are house heads, yeah.
Would the house heads be enough to speak on behalf of their entire house?
I do not claim to know the politics of the houses. Generally, as it happens, most of these houses have individuals that are part of my councils. Therefore, they are the great houses. And I would assume that those who are part of my council and typically are the head of the house will have something to say about the succession, regardless.
Maybe we should... I mean, you as a king here, maybe we should call the house heads, ask them the question, let them go back to their houses for a bit to discuss it amongst themselves, and then call them back in, say, 30 or 40 minutes, and they can have a discussion, and then they can vote about who they would prefer as monarch, after discussing it with their houses individually and what's best for them. We could make it so that they would not be able to discuss it with other houses. You can just say this is to be discussed amongst your own houses. We'll be observing.
This voting business is unheard of.
I mean, it seems like if you have a better solution, I'm all ears for it.
If I allow the heads of the houses to vote on who should be king, then what is the point of my role as king? Would it not be then passed to the great houses to make all of the decisions for the king? I grow tired of this. Either you have a solution or you do not yet.
I mean, Lochie has a solution.
No.
Kill all of them. Tragic fire.
Tragic ghost fire.
Or just have voicing Velon. They're having debate right now in Eros and Veyron. So we're just swing them towards Veyron. And we would basically, if we were to swing Fairlock, Peliglar, and Velon, that would give a bulk of, I suppose, the enforcement capabilities of the state to whoever we decided on. So what we need to do is convince those three. You really, you're on persuasion stat here. We would need
You've done no talking so far.
We would need to convince those three to back one of the candidates, and that puts a bulk of the state's enforcement capabilities and military strength behind one candidate.
You're suggesting a coup?
I'm not suggesting coup. I'm suggesting coup proofing. There's no one to throw a coup if the entire army backs them. The rule of revolution is you generally lose your throne when you lose your army. So,
Yes.
we need to pick a candidate that we think is probably the easiest to convince those three.
You guys haven't really spoken in character about any of this, so might be time to discuss with all of you, maybe.
The problem is that I'm speaking from Lachlan's perspective and his knowledge, not Abelard. Abelard is a good soldier, and revolution would never cross his mind.
Yeah.
If you ask Abelard, the rules of the realm should be followed, and it would be whoever is rightfully that ruler, and that would be Veyron, by the king's own admission. This king can claim. Because it's privately shared. It's a private secret. But when something's said publicly, it destroys credibility. Because private secret isn't that, but an actual admission of something like that is. So in theory, you could destroy the credibility of Aeros's claim by the king's own admission publicly, where that way everyone knows about it, and that makes it easily to kind of argue about, which would put Veyron on the throne, but at least legitimately. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. And what do we think about that as an
Good idea, Lochie.
I'm just processing.
James, what do you think?
I don't know, Holly.
See you later, guys.
Because that's really what it hinges on, is we need to make one of their claims the strongest and the one with the most backing. Aeros is publicly the firstborn and legitimate, but everyone actually knows he's illegitimate.
Everyone.
Well, it's a privately kept secret, and basically everyone knows it, but it's not a public record. A public admission or public declaration by the king would destroy that credibility, because that way there's no deniability about what happened. As well as that, you would be throwing House Turnak and House Larov under the bus, which would also destroy their credibility.
Showing that Eros is an illegitimate heir does not necessarily solve the problem, though, because those traditionalists might then, instead of agreeing that Veyron is the rightful heir, say that Amos is the rightful heir because he is the next male in line for the throne. So
but that makes it easier, because Amos is a child and can be easily swung around if we were to, I suppose, sell him on not being king. Highlight the hard work, highlight, the hard choices. You could get him to waive his right to the throne pretty quickly. Or, pretty easy to kill a 12-year-old. Just saying. Commoners, I've got 4 hit points, guy. Stabby. But yeah. In terms of the actual succession, though, in this one is... Agas has said that Veyron is next in line.
He wants Veyron to be the next in line. He said that there's issues with the fact that, first of all, he hasn't come clean about Aerost being technically born out of wedlock and a bastard, like an illegitimate heir. And that Veyron, who would be the rightful heir, is a woman. So therefore, probably not as easily accepted because it's never been done before.
I mean, in terms of the easiest one, selling Aerost. That's the easiest pathway in this situation. He is already accepted publicly as the next heir, and is easy enough to sell to the traditional houses. One of the progressive ones is also favouring him because they went a history with him, and that puts at least 4 or 5 that we can guess probably behind him, because there's 4 of them have something to gain from it.
Yeah.
although House Valen is having an infight right now, you said it was about 70-30 towards Veyron, right?
Yeah, Holly said it was 70 towards Baron, yeah.
So,
And then with Fairlock and Albright, if we get one of them to go for it, they're probably going to agree with each other because they're together houses. So if you get one of them to agree with it, then you just be like, go tell the other guys to agree with me, then they'll agree with each other if they're as close.
yeah. So Aramed, the actual House Aramed, might disagree with it because they're quite traditional, but in the end, it wouldn't matter if we had the backing of at least 5 of the houses for one of the candidates. Because is it 8? Yeah.
There's 9.
9. Yeah. So you need 5 houses to back one of them. And also 5 houses with the right things. Because if we basically need one, I mean, Valen Fairlock should be enough for backing. And Albright as well, they've got the Arcane Arts. So in terms of a power base, they'll provide the most stable power base. They provide a power base that's stable and not having any military houses. As in theory, it's whoever controls the 3, I suppose, Fairlock, Pelliglair, and Valen really has the best chance. In reality, it's Pelliglair, right? Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
They're the biggest wildcard in my eyes. Because if they're the ones that handle the hush-hush jobs of the country, they can hush-hush job, like, a monarch. Like, I don't know who they would back. But also, Assassin's probably least likely to, directly tell you.
Yeah, hey, you guys an assassin. You want to kill one of them? Which one did you kill more than the other one?
Or you can discredit one of them and get them to embarrass themselves. Whether it's with Agros or something, if he's easily provocable or something like that, you get him to make a fool of himself. Get him. There's a potion of gender change in the game.
Let's go outside, find one of those.
Can you even administer it to a spectre?
That's the problem for once we find one. What if we leave
And we wait until we get a party member that can cast Wish, and we wait until we get to that level.
And then
then
wish
we
them
come-
I
all.
wish Veyron was a man.
And then we come back.
Does lesser restoration change someone's gender?
Wait.
Can I cure wounds away their breast?
Put them to the sword.
I still think the best approach is to destroy Aros' credibility.
Okay.
Because either way, you either have Aros... You have Aros in another picture. You can have Amos on the throne and then Veyron as what's the title of the person?
Yeah, that one. I
The
know.
person that rules in like a King's Stead once they come to age.
Yeah.
Oh, a regent?
Yeah. You know, Veyron is regent and then Amos is on the throne.
Mm-hmm.
And then you could have Veyron still stay as an advisor as well. Because if Veyron's smart enough here, Veyron probably also knows the fact that the odds are against her as a woman.
Yeah. Oh, she has said that to us and stuff like that when we spoke to her.
So-
she's aware of that.
But getting Amos to endorse her as her regent once he comes of age would provide a stable base, and as well would give time for Amos to get acclimatized and get properly, I suppose, trained and stuff, and then you could have Veyron would still be alive to also still provide that advice and that stability. So either way, I think getting Eros of the picture probably provides us the two best bets, which is either, Amos with a regent that is capable,
Yeah.
or Varen just on the throne straight up.
Mhm. So now it's just how we get Eros.
Oh, we make him illegitimate.
Okay.
Because that way it's just a fight between the traditionalists and the progressive about who sits on that throne.
Mhm.
Because Varen is next in line, but if they want Amos to... Or we have the two heirs actively come out and say, look, we've talked about this. Amos will be king.
Mhm.
I'm happy I will sit as his regent until he comes of age. And I will hand over power to him afterwards. After he's been fully trained and is ready to take the throne. And have Amos stay in court with Varen, learning with Varen, and rather than with
way-
one of the houses.
Yeah. Yeah, because that way.
Because that keeps him neutral.
Yes.
You have come up with so many good things in
The short time that you've been with us to solve this.
Looks like I've studied this history before.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's like this is something that you're interested in, or
Can I
whatever.
verbalize these ideas to the king and get his feedback on them?
I feel like the king's a little bit sick of talking about it at the moment. I think he just wants the problem solved.
He needs to agree to whatever fucking solution we have.
Does he? I think the only thing he cares about is the fighting stopping.
Yeah, he low-key dismissed you.
Yeah.
Alright.
But are you asking him?
Which of the two, does he think that's a viable solution in the situation?
So what are you proposing? That
Either that we, I suppose, remove Eros' claim by publicly announcing what happened, and either we end up with Amos with a regent who we could influence to be Varen, with talking to Amos, talking to Varen about it, and having them speak with the king about this specific sort of arrangement, how that would work, or have the easiest way would have to Amos on the throne and have Varen as regent, because Varen already knows that the others act against her.
Does Varen know that Eros is an illegitimate heir?
We don't know if she knows, but she did talk a bit about,
Was she the one that tipped us off to the fact that something was wrong with...
Yeah.
Yeah.
She never outright says anything, but she kind of hinted towards it, but we can't be 100% sure.
Why don't we chat with her?
Hey, did you We're just gonna go back to her and...
Well, that's the
well,
thing.
if we go back to her, then I'll
Well, we can
speak to her, because I spoke to
yeah.
her before.
You can speak to her and just, if you want to highlight, I suppose, the idea behind it, and see if we can get the king to agree to that. Because if we have Varen say, I'll step aside for Amos, that solves that problem.
Mm-hmm.
Amos sits in the throne, and Amos appoints Varen as regent for the 6 or so years he has till adulthood. For him to properly learn, he'll stay in court, learning, I suppose, on the job. Go to King Tape or whatever. And then rule from there is probably a peaceful enough solution. Especially if Varen agrees. Does give 6 years for Varen to get him out of the question as well. But that depends on how much of a cold bitch she is.
Yeah, that's her own problem. She can do that if she wants.
Yeah. It's my regency, I can do what I want.
That doesn't have anything to do with us. That's what she wants to do. She can go ahead and do that. Anyway.
It's basically, yeah.
Okay.
Right, so you're verbalizing this to the king?
Yes.
Well, I think you have quite a glaring problem in your solution.
Mm-hmm.
You are assuming that Eros won't fight you, saying he is illegitimate.
What if you said he was illegitimate?
If I said he was illegitimate, he would try to bring ruin to our house. What loyalty does he have to me? That I am his father, that I am his king. Well, if he believes he is to be king, then his family, the Malaxes, for all he cares, will probably back him, and they have the finances to do so. Then all will be lost in any case if he wins his skirmish.
Alternatively, lose House Pelenglair to the king.
Who did this lot support? Who do they want on the throne?
No one knows. They're tricky bitches.
Probably. Well, if they didn't want Aerost on the throne, they would announce his illegitimacy themselves.
But they did also raise Amos. He squired there, right?
Amost or Aerost?
Amos.
Yeah.
So you still want to eliminate Aerost either way.
I don't see a solution where Aerost will be... I mean... We could put Aerost on the throne.
How? We can't just say, okay, Aerost on the throne. We need to convince
Unless...
people.
Wait. Unless Turnak's plan is to wait for Aerost to be on the throne and then destroy his claim.
Why would that be the plan?
Because Amos would be loyal to them because they squired him. They would be more kind of... The way I'm doing it is, Aerost gets on the throne, or Aerost is going for the throne. They destroy his claim. They might be playing on Aerost's side of aggressiveness to maybe take Veyron out of the picture. They destroy Aerost's legitimacy, leaving Amos as the only heir apparent, putting him on the throne, and destroying the credibility of House Aramed in the process, putting Amos in a position where he can't rely on his own house for support, and would instead have to fall back on the people that squired him.
Mm-hmm.
Chinex on the throne.
That sounds like something that they seem like they
What are you
would
smiling
do.
about?
Longclin big braining, probably.
Longclin.
Not us. Longclin big
free
brain.
brain cell.
Yeah, Longclin's got the brain cell. You took it away with you.
I took to learn about this.
You took it away to Europe.
Basically, what we're doing right now is conspiracy theorizing.
Yeah.
Which means
Maybe the Earth is flat.
there's a chance.
James, stop.
Is it flat in this universe? Oh no.
Depends how
It's
you,
not flat.
it depends how you do your planar diagrams.
What?
It is not flat. I don't believe
Is it
in
globe?
flat Earth.
Is
Is
it-
it globular?
Is it shaped like a velociraptor?
Yes.
Oh.
Good.
Hexagonal Earth?
Ooh, yes.
Cubic?
You just slide right.
Flat trapezium.
The Earth is a cube.
Hyperbolic?
Oh, that would be fun.
Dick and balls.
Dick and
That's
balls?
what. That's what like there is, yeah.
Fun. There was just a dick and balls.
Yeah.
But there's reality is probably just like Pluto-sized. Because I'm like, God, this is really small. Shrink. There we go.
The size just.
One ball is the planet we're on at the moment, whose name I forget.
Thor? This planet?
This my world?
Wait.
Holly and I are doing a crossover known as the Shaft.
Oh my god.
I
Oh my
thought
god,
his
the
name was
shaft.
Dwarf of the mysterious planet.
Hmm?
I'm dumb.
What?
I'm gonna stop talking.
What did you
Is
say?
Carthora the world?
Yeah,
Yeah.
The world is in the planet, or the world is in
as in the planet.
the world?
Yeah, it's the alternative to Earth.
Yeah.
Alright.
So Carthora is one of the balls.
Oh.
Planetara is the other ball.
Oh, what's the massive shaft?
Our crossover event.
Crazy crossover. My bad, I'm checking out.
No, don't check out.
Alright.
Come back.
We're currently playing the conspiracy game.
Yeah,
Now it's
Yep.
me looking at Loki like, yeah, I agree.
I agree with
Can
you.
you at least
Could I
not in
raise
agreement with me?
the concept of Turnak's plan with the king and be like, would that be something they would do?
Sure, so you're gonna accuse them of
I will say,
plotting
like,
to overthrow the king?
I would say theoretically, would this be something they would do?
Well, anything is possible. They are, after all, rather cunning, and they have never been a huge fan of my own, or some of the solutions that I have posed to them, but they are not outright. James.
Yeah, James, he checked out.
They're not outright going to argue with my decisions. They are loyal to the crown only so much as it serves them.
I suppose it would serve them for Amos to be king.
Almost as if they are plotting a marriage between
They are, yes.
Amos and their own house.
Oh. I forgot about that bit. That makes everything way more credible in my mind.
The wedding rings for.
That makes it.
That's what it's about.
This makes it a hell of a lot more credible.
Well, we can't. Tianak wants Amos on the throne.
Yes.
They're one of the few houses that actually want that.
Yes, because they have big plans.
Well, whoa, Lochie. You might be onto something.
Of course.
I like your idea. We convince. I feel like
I like his style, man.
we convinced this lot to put Eros on the throne simply on the grounds that Eros can easily be dethroned and replaced with Amos later. They'll be happy for the time being having Eros on the throne. And that might give us. I think that's one step in the right
Yeah,
direction.
because that might work. Because, like, if we're just going for them to stop arguing, well, the thing is, the more traditionalist houses, Ermid, Vallon, and Lerov, obviously, like, they're more traditionalist. So, Vallon's fighting, so they're, like, iffy, but we know that Malakthé will go for Eros. Lerov and Ermid are more traditionalist, would prefer Eros there. So that's, if we convince Tianak, that's already 4.
I'm gonna say, I think if Rob and Tianak are gonna do it, I think Fairlock and Albright will also follow through. Because Fairlock, I think, will swing with Tianak and Rob.
Yeah, and then Albright is really close to Fairlock, so that they'd agree.
There is a connection there, and the flowers are a connection, and I think that they would be working together.
So that would make Albright. So that'd be.
That would be enough.
Yeah, that'd be 6 out of 9.
How do we chat to this lot about it without seeming weird, like I have every other time I try to talk to someone?
Well, we can't.
What do you... I just start some small talk, like...
No, he's saying we can't because then he looks at me because I need to do it and I know I need to do it.
Okay.
Leah can't speak.
Let me give you some-
Leah doesn't know words.
A9 can do it as well. You guys could. Everybody.
Didn't A9 actively burn all bridges with him with Abelard being present by walking up and directly asking them what the flower was?
You
Hey,
never
cool
know.
brooch, what is it?
You could. Yeah, you could bring it back. I believe in you. I believe in you guys.
I have problems.
Yeah.
My problem is small talk. I can't do that.
Neither can I.
Big talk.
Neither can I.
Big talk is going up to them and be like, "You're planning a coup, and we think you should."
Like, how do you do that?
How do you start with small talk and evolve to...
I know.
Let's start a coup.
It's hard. Can we like play games together for a few nights or something? And
Apparently, I'm meant to build rapport, and then you kind of go for it.
I have an idea. I have an idea for how to start small talk.
Apparently,
I've done lots of fucked up shit like that as flow. possible.
Apparently, the way to do building rapport is to repeatedly use their name.
I'm TNI person.
Hi, Damon.
I have a plan. I'm going to approach
Oh.
House TNI.
Sure. Yeah.
Please, not the person that I
Not
approached
him.
before.
Okay, you
And
approached him.
I think, like, I've given you the brooch, right?
Yes.
No more brooches. We don't talk about those. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm just gonna approach.
Just a random person.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you looking for any person in particular, like any type of person?
Yeah, like stereotypical masculine
Sure.
figure, if there is one.
Um.
Or someone that looks like the life of the party, sort of.
Okay, that's a bit more doable in the TNX. They're not the most rugged house, but you can see.
No, my plan's falling apart. I forgot about that.
They're not the most rugged house.
You gotta start beef with them.
No, I was just gonna say, hey, there are free drinks at the table.
Sure. There's a figure who's dressed in really, like a fine, I would say, green and gold doublet. It's filigreed. It's very, very, I would say, it almost looks as if it's made of silk. Like, this is it's very rich, very well put together. This man is really tall and he's quite lean. He's not the most like broad-shouldered or athletic-looking person, but he is certainly one of the more young, spry-looking individuals. He's got this head of like curly, golden hair. And he seems pleasant enough. He seems to be smiling at the people that he's talking to or that he sees. I'm assuming this is kind of the person that you're looking to approach?
Sure thing.
Yeah.
I'll approach this person
Yep.
that they're talking to. Hello, the people are gathering for drinks at the table in case you're interested.
I thought as much. I heard a call out earlier, but had some business to attend to. I assume you must be heading that way, or?
I'll let a few of the other houses know first.
Excellent.
I figured it's a good way to get some of this arguing to settle down. It's so loud in here.
Well, it depends on who you're bringing to the table. Some of them get a bit more rowdy with a drink in their hand.
Yes,
but
Eros does seem the type to
cause a ruckus.
couldn't have said it better myself.
Absolutely. And you look over and you can see that he's like kind of got this heavy arm swung around one of the Malakthe soldiers that you'd seen it like kind of pressing up against the opals, and his like drink is sloshing all over the table. He's laughing and like there's this kind of raucous noise coming from that end of the table.
You said one of them was wearing, you say silk?
Yeah, that's the
That's the person I was
yeah.
speaking to?
Yeah.
A silken, what is it?
It's a doublet, so it's like
Doublet.
what's the best way? How do you describe a doublet? It's like a
Don't worry, I have...
a vest, I guess. Like it's a jacket kind of thing.
Is it one of the underneath the suit sort of thing?
Kind of.
Oh, yes. Very fancy.
Very fancy, yes.
That's quite the fine doublet you have there.
Aye, thank you.
Is it silk?
Of course. And he kind of holds out his arm to you.
Well, I assume that he's inviting me to
Yeah.
admire it. Is there, on closer inspection, does it seem magical, or are there any intricacies that you can't see from further away?
Yes, actually, you notice that a lot of the stitching that you'd seen, the filigree, there is an almost darker, more subtle shade in between the filigree. It's too hard to see from far away, so you have to actually get close up to see it. But embedded into the green section, you can see that there are lots of little chrysanthemums as well.
Oh, it's even more beautiful up close.
Thank you. I'll let our tailors know that you think so.
Your tailors?
Of course.
You have tailors for your house? And they suit
I imagine
everyone?
most houses do. Usually wherever you live in a city, there are tailors.
Of course.
We happen to have some of the better ones.
No,
I
can
think
tell.
at least.
Yes, no, you lot certainly stand out from the rest. Well, I'll be off to get those drinks. Perhaps I'll see you at the table.
Right, I don't think I caught your name.
Oh, sorry, how rude of me. I'm A9. Strange name, I know. I'm not exactly from around here, if you couldn't tell.
Yes, we don't usually have your kind around here, but certainly interesting to meet you all the same.
Likewise, and your name?
He he seems a bit surprised that you don't know. Almost he doesn't seem, he seems a bit arrogant, of course, but he seems pleasant enough with you compared to the rest of his house, I would say. You get some suspicious looks from people that approach you, or like are in your vicinity, not like directly approaching you, sorry. He kind of, he looks at you and smiles. Right, it's been a while since I've not, I suppose, not been known to one. I, of course, am the heir apparent to Tyrnak's legacy, Tobias.
Do I recognize his name?
Roll a history check.
Guidance.
Are you next? I will guidance from far away.
Guidance from far away.
Slay.
Thank you. I may have been stalling my roll for that. Oh, it's okay. What was I rolling?
History.
Oh, it's good. 26.
Yeah, Tobias is quite a famous member of Tyrnak's lineage, given that he is one of the more successful knights, actually, of the family. He was the eldest born son during this time, and was supposed to inherit the lands of the Tyrnak family. However, he met a rather untimely demise that kind of cut his legacy short, though his son inherited the lands instead.
What was his name again?
Tobias.
Tobias
Yes.
Tyrnak.
Yeah. His
What
son who inherited the lands was called Terrell Tyrnak.
My apologies, Tobias. The name. You're the knight
Right, yes, that's correct,
of
yes.
some renown, of some great renown.
Exactly right, exactly
I
right.
must apologize for not recognizing you sooner.
Oh, that's quite alright.
When you say untimely demise, what kind of demise?
I would say... What did you roll, James? Sorry?
26.
A 26, yeah. With a 26, you know that he was sent to... what's the best way of putting this? Okay, so during this time, Balastria was undergoing quite a change from certain worship that they had previously. Even with the 26, you don't know what they were doing. Essentially, they were cleansing a lot of the religious fanatics that used to live in Balastria, and since have kind of brought in their own gods that they would prefer people to worship instead. And Tobias was sent off to one of these holy battles, and unfortunately he was killed quite graphically in front of his army as a message that the people of Renadium, where Tyrnak was given lands, would not follow the gods of Balastrian origin. So he was actually speared through the top of his head and pinned to the ground by his foot, and left there for days.
Lovely. Why did you want to know this, Lochie? Or do you think it was an assassination, political assassination?
Almost certainly.
Wait,
Secret Service is also good at sending a message. Blame it on some holy knights or something like that.
Some what?
Well, blame it on a holy war. But these fuckers all know it wasn't one. Probably wanting to stay in line. Which king did he serve? Or
Which-
queen?
You're sneaky.
I am.
This is so sneaky. That's
I've
not what
already
the.
checked
That's
it.
not what
I've
the.
already checked
that-
and I don't know.
Fuck!
Yeah, that's not what the question was.
I want to know.
Yeah, that is not what the question was. You don't know, like, James has already done a couple of rolls for, like,
You keep finding
This
key
is-
ways to drag it around.
yeah,
in this.
that's clever, but James A9 doesn't know.
Age silly. Well, Tobias, it was a pleasure to finally meet you in person.
Absolutely, same to you.
I'll suppose I'll see you around.
Right, yes, of course. Well, always a pleasure to speak with somebody that you don't usually come across.
Our Lord, and head off towards the table.
Sure, yeah.
What did we learn? Tobias possibly assassinated, but by the sound, I'm not 100% convinced personally.
Can I have a, from a distance, can I have a look over the Pellicler family and see if there's any similar symbolism as those three there?
The chrysanthemums.
Yeah.
Sure, roll a perception check.
Wait a
for me.
second. What flower? Didn't you say there was a chrysanthemum on the?
On the brooch, yeah.
Yeah.
That's correct.
That's
In-
why the symbol on my diagram is a chrysanthemum, not
That's
a
right.
circle with a triangle in it.
It's clearly a brooch.
Obviously.
We need a
15.
merge diagram.
15? You don't see any chrysanthemums, no. The Pelaglear's crest is two seahorses that are split by a sword, and most of them seem to have this sort of nautical element to their attire. For the most part, it almost looks as if they're kind of wearing armor that looks like scales, and it's very, very finely laid. This is for their household guards and for the nobles that you can see as part of the family. A lot of them have similar like elements of the sea. So there are people that have like necklaces of coral that are like meant to imitate coral. A lot of their clothing has a bit of an iridescent sheen to it. There are some stitchings that look like scales themselves. You don't notice any similarities necessarily.
Remember the sea theme? Valen's the Navy. What the fuck are they? And why the sea theme?
Just hanging out.
Horses licking the couch.
Alright. Huh. If I want... I'm gonna theorize here again about what happens. I think Veyron gets on the throne, or Aroth gets on the throne, gets deposed by Veyron, and then Turnak wants to go, like, unveil, I suppose, like, Amos to be on the throne or something like that, and then to send a message to get them back in line, Pelliglair kills one of their knights, particularly brutally, facing as a holy war, the history books. But the noble houses, there's no secrets in the palace, they all know that that is a targeted killing to keep Veyron on the throne and keep them all in line. But that's my guess of history.
wait. Oh, okay, sure.
Because Pelliglair wasn't one of the traditionalist houses, were they?
No, not that you heard.
So that's
Is
traditionalist.
Leah in the list? No.
What is?
list of who supports who?
No, we haven't spoken to them yet.
Who's on your list?
Arost with a question mark, and I can't trust Connor with that.
But yeah, well, because that's the thing is, assassins are typically to be more accepting. All those sort of organizations do tend to favor people that would typically fly under the radar. Ironically enough, you see the same thing with the what's the private police force, the Pinkies, the Pinkertons.
Pinkertons, yeah.
Yeah, they used to hire a lot of gay and women back in like the 50s and stuff to spy on people because no one thought they were good at things. So they played it, and then apparently the Pinkertons were some of the most accepting agencies.
Yeah.
Used to crush workers' rights.
Yay!
Anyway.
Those workers don't deserve rights.
No. Silly gooses.
Silly geese, please.
Silly geese.
You will hang.
Ah.
I already am hanging
Ooh.
from the last thread.
Yeah. It's almost sleep time.
I think.
Honestly, I think no matter what we do, Baron ends up on the front throne.
I think. So we have a pretty good understanding, I think, of Tianak, or at least a pretty good suspicion. I feel like we understand Malakthai quite well as well, where their allegiance is. Who else do we know about?
I think we need to talk to Peliqua.
Yeah, I think that's the next big thing we've got to do. Oh, also, Holly, happy birthday.
Yay,
Oh wow,
thank
sweaty
you.
milk. Happy birthday off.
It's birthday. It's Holly's birthday, everyone.
Yay.
Can we get
Oh.
an F in the chat for
Oh.
Holly's birthday?
Oh.
In the chat.
Oh.
F for
Oh.
respect for Holly's age.
Okay.
You
Oh.
respect your elders.
Old.
Yeah, I am old.
Old.
I'm old. I'm gonna have an existential crisis about it.
Excellent.
Thank you. That's so kind.
You gonna get bold?
I don't think I'll ever go bald, to be honest with you. I have too much hair.
Not with that attitude.
Ah. Start scalping
Nothing a
myself.
little bit of hydrochloric acid can't fix.
Ah, yeah.
I was
Yeah.
gonna suggest trimmers.
Just bust off my hair.
James, please be careful. You're gonna start falling off.
Okay, I think James is done. I don't think we can.
James.
I guess we can start next session talking about Claire.
Yeah, I think that'll be it for James. Look at him. Look at that. Look at that guy. Crazy. He's gone crazy. Any last comments? Any last words or anything? Or shall we save it for next time?
How many more stones are there to unturned?
64.
It-
Have I been leading everyone on like 4 wild goose chases so far, or have I given active solutions that
Yeah.
are good?
You've done better
Bad
than
theories.
what we did.
Wait, I was gonna say bad theories better than no theories, but you know, I appreciate the theorizing. I think it's helping us consider all our options.
Yeah, because even if the theory's wrong, at least that means that we can like cross that option off of the thing.
Yeah. You know, I think
Like we know the Earth isn't flat because we hate the flat Earth theory.
I am getting closer to being confident with a solution. We're
Slaves.
slowly getting there. We're learning more and more. We need to piece this
This-
together.
Is us getting all the lore dump and info constantly.
Maybe
all
we
of the things that we've skipped. This is our penance, but also this is really fun.
Yeah.
So like it's like
Slave.
fuck you. You have to sit and listen to the lore, but like I get to sit. And
Hypothetical
listen to the lore. So,
solution.
like, I guess it's bad.
Maybe to stop the fighting, we just need to start pantsing random house people. And just shaming all of them.
Unite them with a common enemy.
The
Oh,
pants.
Oh, yeah. Crazy.
Stand in the corner and start throwing rocks. They've stopped fighting amongst themselves.
They're fighting us now.
Let us down the stairs.
If we leave, then they'll stop for a bit.
Oh
my god. Have you considered witchcraft?
People in Blastry don't like that.
Yeah.
They're not fans.
Have you considered
You know,
wizardcraft
We
sexist?
should probably also ask Agast if they have many visitors in here. Because there could have been some like really interesting people that came through this temple throughout time. Anyways,
Jork.
They could have, some people could have just come and straight up jorked it without realizing that there's a whole group of people here.
Me putting an echo.
I mean, yeah, you do have to put your hand on the thing to see them. So.
So you don't straight up jork it in
On
the temple.
that note, before my puzzle gets ruined,
Jorking on ghosts.
so thank you guys so much for joining us.
Thank you for sharing all the cool lore.
Thank you, hey, Hombus Bombus.
You are more than welcome. I hope you guys enjoyed. Did you guys have fun?
Yes.
I learned all of the laws.
So
We're
many,
learning
so
many
much
laws.
lore. James. So much lore. Anyway, very special birthday episode. Birthday. Happy birthday.
Merry Chrysler.
Thank you. Yeah, my name is Holly, so maybe my birthday is actually when we have Christmas in July.
Jesus.
Oh my god, crazy.
Jolly ho.
Anyway, Jolly Ho, that's me.
Holy Joe.
That is also me. I have many names.
Mr. Macintosh.
That's also me.
Tim Apple.
Chim Apple. Yeah.
Poratron 3000.
What? AKA Kirby.
I don't know if I don't know if I accept that one.
Poratron sounds like a fucking transformer.
Yeah.
Optimus Prime! Your greatest rival! Rule 34!
It's not Voltron, it's Vortron.
Voltron! No! No!
Voltron, it is your greatest
No!
rival!
My birthday's off to a terrible start! My birthday's off to a terrible start! Don't ruin my day! Don't do it, bitch! Alright. Much love to you guys. Hope you've enjoyed. If you would like to catch up on what you might have missed from the Carthora campaign, please do check the link down below. We've got our archive videos over there on YouTube where you can catch up on all of the editions of this puzzle and all of the episodes in the Rift Between Worlds Carthora campaign thus far. There's been a lot of them. There's lots of lore there. We've got lots of great characters here. We're happy to have Lochie back. Lochie's returned. And next time we'll have Connor, hopefully. Fingers crossed. He better be back, bitch.
Take his balls.
I won't, but
I will.
somebody else can if they
Loki
want.
loves to take Connor's balls.
Happy birthday!
This is why I never speak to anybody on my birthday.
Happy
I just need a day
birthday
of
to
peace. I need a
you!
day of peace.
Happy birthday to you!
I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you'd like to catch up on Lochie's campaign, that's also there on the YouTube, as well as Connor's Wild Beyond the Witchlight campaign as well. Much love to you guys. It was always a pleasure and never a chore to DM for you all. And we will see you next week on Friday. Goodbye for now. Yay!
Guys, I got my small talk down, but almost.
I'm so proud of you. Can you teach me how to small talk with people?